my name is Aprille Walker from the Yoga Ranger Studio, and today I wanted to do a little bit of sort of a tutorial, but sort of a suggested modifications for eagle pose. Recently, my friend and I, Christina from Kriska Yoga, were running a yoga challenge on Instagram, and there was a lot of kind of confusion about what to do if you can't do full eagle pose and what are the modifications for it. So I thought I would offer some suggestions here. Eagle pose, if you're not familiar with it, is a balancing, standing, kind of hip opening, shoulder opening pose. A lot of elements go into this pose. You want to do a lot of yin type openings, a lot of stretching of the hips and the shoulders to warm yourself up before this pose. But if you're looking to see what you can do and you've got all that warm up done, a few sun salutations and then some, go ahead and take yourself upright. So what you want to start with is you want to take your feet up hip distance apart. And you want to bend your knees. So bend your knees just a little bit. You're going to take your hands to your heart, find stability here. So what I find easiest is to take a block, either on one height or the other, and place it to the outside of the leg that we're going to be standing on. So you're going to lift that right knee up as high as you can, cross it over, and tap that toe down. So what you're looking for in the hips is to level those hips out and get them centered. So you don't want to be half lopsided off to the side, you want to level them out. That's going to help with that toe on that block, or you can be up against a wall. So you can either take that toe there or you can wrap it all the way back behind you, the double wrap, or any variation hereof, okay? This is the bottom half. So just focusing on this bottom half, leveling the hips, pulling the knees together is going to help you wrap and hold this pose very stable. Pulling the inside of the legs together, engaging the core from the pelvic floor all the way up. Give you some stability here. So for your hands, you're going to take them out nice and wide. So traditionally, the choice is to take the same arm underneath that you have the leg on top. That would be right underneath left. You can start here, and if you can't double cross those hands, you can start with a nice little hug. Take those elbows high and sink into your eagle pose. If you can wrap those arms, you're going to take them wide, turn the hands to face one another or the backs of the hands together and kind of bring them toward one another. So here's where the upper body takes a little bit of a turn here. You want to take the elbows as high as the shoulders, hands away from the face. If you're dropping those shoulders down, you're not getting the kind of stretch that you want. You want a little bit more stretch in the back of the shoulders. It's okay if your hands don't come together. Just keep those elbows crossed and pull them away from you. Sink down. Unwind. You're going to switch sides. So I think the block is really helpful even if you are really comfortable doing this pose. It gives you a lot more grounding and it helps you sink into the pose and find your alignment a little bit better. So once again, feet hip distance apart or a little bit closer. Bend the knees. Bring that left leg way high. And the reason I say way high is if you take it low and cross it over, you're going to cross it right at the knee. If you take it way high, you're going to cross it a little bit further and you're going to get that double wrap that you want. Foot to the block or tuck behind you. Pull those knees together, engage the bottom of the core, your pelvic floor. Engage your belly button. Arms out to the side, left underneath right, palms together or back of hands together, or just wrap around your shoulders and give yourself a little hug. Elbows high, hands away from the face. You can take your look up at your hands or straight through that little tiny hole that you have between your arms, or you can start to bend forward and bring those elbows to the knees. Come back up, unwind. If you want to deepen this, you can bend that way and you can sink the hips down just a little bit lower, engaging that core and pulling those legs down closer together. There's a lot of little tricks that can go into this pose. One of the best starting places though is to use a block to give you that support. That's going to help you work on the rest of the pose all the way up. Remember that this pose is about balance, and balance is about core engagement. Think of your core as a canister. Remembering that your pelvic floor is the very bottom of the canister. Lift up through the pelvic floor, engage the side body, lower back, front of the core. Move it all the way up into the diaphragm, and the diaphragm is the top of your canister. So engage this area, kind of cinch it in just a little bit. Pull everything toward what we call the midline, which is the line right down the middle of your body. Pull everything in, even the arms. You're gonna pull those in and compress them together. So my elbows are really pressing into each other. Once again, if you don't get here, you can stay here. You can wrap and hug. You can just grab, you can even grab genie arms. You're still gonna get a nice big stretch, pulling those shoulders or those elbows away from the shoulders and back of the body a little bit. Find whatever version of it works for you. You don't have to double wrap your foot either. You can take that block and stay there, or you can, if you want to get rid of the block, you can take those toes down to the floor and just tap them down to the floor lightly. You're still getting a really deep balancing pose with a lot of core engagement and some nice hip and shoulder opening. So I hope this helps just a little bit, give you some ideas for how to get into this pose more comfortably, find better alignment, find more stability. This pose is truly about strength and balance. So while you are doing it, think to yourself an affirmation of I am strong and I am balanced, because that's what this pose is all about. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and comment down below and subscribe for more uploads every single week, including things like tips and ideas, mindful living, yoga classes, myofascial release classes, a little bit of everything. Thanks so much for watching. Namaste. Have a great day.